Hello there guys, Morphin Reviewer 97 here, and today's video is going to be another interesting video because today we're going to do a DIY video, so a do-it-yourself video. Thought it'd be really interesting. I did try this and I thought, hey, this would make an interesting video and it would help you guys out if you're looking to try this. But basically, as you could probably tell by the title, today we're going to be making some Energems from Power Rangers Dino Charge. Or Power Rangers Dino Supercharge, but we're going to be making the Energems, and I can show you what the Energems will end up looking like. Now, I did do 3 attempts before making this video, and my 3rd attempt did turn out the best, so I can show you that. But this was my first attempt. Now, the first attempt at the Energem, it wasn't too bad. I did sort of get the shape right, but as you can see, the hot glue wasn't the best, and I didn't do the best job with the first one, but there's that one. Second one I did get a bit better. I shrunk down the size of the Energem a little bit. As you can see, the hot glue, I did a bit more better of a job than that. And then I added some glitter and stuff in the front, and I actually filled the middle in with a blue Sharpie as well, so the glitter would show out a bit better. Because just the normal glitter, it would just show up just normal glitter like that without the white in the centre, and that's with the Sharpie, so you do get a definitely better look with that one. So there's my first attempt, there's my second attempt. Now 3rd attempt turned out the best. I did shorten it down just a little bit more, and there's the 3rd one. Now this is the final one. This was my final attempt and the one that I'm going to show you how to make in this video. But here's what this one looks like. Again, I cut this one down at a bit of an angle, just like it is in the show, because when they hold it up. But as you can see, this one did turn out the best. The glitter look, really cool. So doing these Energems, you can do them different ways as well. There's a pink one that I did. I need to add the glitter to this in future, but that was just with the Sharpie. So you could do them without the glitter if you wanted to, but there's them. And then I did a bunch more as well, so I can show you them right now. I just grab them. So there's a bunch more that I did, and some of them I did add the glitter to because I had glitter and others I didn't, but there we go. Got a load of other ones there, and yeah, they turned out quite well. So that's what I'm going to show you guys how to do in this video today. So let's get on with the stuff you're going to want to need to make these Energems. So let's get started. Okay everybody, so I've got everything laid out of what we're going to need to make these Energems today, so I'll just go through everything. The main thing is, of course, we're going to have paper, because they're going to be made out of paper to get the Energems for a lot cheaper. Now we've got glitter paints here. You don't have to use the glitter paints if you don't want to. You could just use the Sharpies, but if you want that glitter look to the Energem, then I recommend these. Also, you're going to want to need a hot glue gun. Now I recommend probably 60 watts or above, because the hotter the hot glue, the easier it is to smooth out and the better it comes out. You've got some glue gun sticks here, got a lot of them. We'll go through quite a lot of them making them. Normal Pritt stick glue. Going to need some tape, some scissors to do the cutting up. Going to need a pen to do all the markings. You're going to need a ruler so we can get the right measurements and stuff. Going to need paintbrushes, and of course you're going to need the Sharpies. So we've got a bunch of different coloured Sharpies there. The last thing is the metallic paint. So this is metallic silver paint, so we can paint the top of the Energems. And that's pretty much everything you're going to want to need in order to make these Energems. So just thought I'd show you that, guys. So before we begin, this is what you need. Now let's get on to making them Energems. Okay guys, so we're going to start off the Energems now. So the first step is to get the piece of paper, roll it lengthways, just like this ways. Don't roll it this way, because if you roll it this way you get a lot more Energems out of the piece of paper. So we'll roll this just like this. Just like so. Roll it all the way. What I tend to do is, if you get your finger and then twist it, just like that, twist the paper around your finger, if you can see this, twist the paper around your finger, and then that way you can get kind of the thickness you want for an Energem. just depending on the thickness what you want. I've already got my tape pre-cut as well, so if I grab a piece of tape and then just tape the end of that, just like that. That end now isn't going anywhere, so we have that. And then we can concentrate on the other side to get the same exact thickness this other side. So we do this just like, again, just twist it around your finger. See if we can get both ends the same size. Doesn't have to be exact, it can be roundabout, but if you just roll the piece of paper out like this, I would say that's probably about lining up. Then grab you another piece of tape and tape the other side. So then you got that, so the two sides aren't going anywhere now. The rest of this, with this gap like this, you're going to want to put tape all the way down. So let's do that. What I tend to do is put tape in the centre first, and then do the two other sides and then do it again. So it's tape in the centre, then we'll tape this side here. Just like so. Tape that. Got another piece of tape. Take the centre of this end, hopefully you guys can see this. Take that end like that. And this is just where basically taping comes in, so we just tape it all to try and get that line down as flat as possible. So we'll just keep on taping that. I've used probably about 8 pieces of tape here, 8 strips. So this should be the last one. There we go, guys. So there's that. So we've got our piece of paper rolled. So there's the first step. Now next step is to actually measure out how long we want the energem to be. So this is the best angle I could get for you guys, so hopefully you can see alright. What I tend to do is flatten it down, just like that. Flatten the piece of paper. Get your ruler. And the measurement that we want actually across for the energem is I've measured about 2.5 inches. So got the inches here. So if we start off at the one end, I've got my black Sharpie as well, so I can measure over the tape where we want to cut. So basically all you want to do now is put it up against the tape like this. Hopefully you guys can see this. And we're basically going to measure 2.5 inches. Now this video might turn out to be a long video because I'm going to show you every step, but just measure 2.5 inches across. So I'll do that now real quick. So 2.5 inches across is right about here. So we're just going to mark a black line, as you can probably see just there, I've just marked, and that should be fine. And then all we want to do with that is just basically cut straight across where that line, basically cut straight across where we just draw that small line, so straight across there. So we'll do that. Try and get it as straight as possible, but there we have that now. So that's 2.5 inches across cut. Then you can straighten it out again to make it circle shaped again, or sphere shaped. There we go, there's the first step, guys, and you can probably see how many more energems we could get out of this one piece of paper. So there we go, there's the first step right there. Okay everybody, so we've done the first step, now moving on to the second step. So we've got this. Basically for the second step all we want to do is flatten this part out again, and on the show the actual energems have kind of like a horizontal line to them to the top and bottom. So we're just going to draw that out. So if we take our ruler, just take the one side, so get the one side like this and just draw a bit of an angle. Now I'm not going to do it too much of an angle because it's not a major angle in the show, probably about that I reckon, and you can draw with your pen just straight across that, just like this, and then that's what you want to do. So we're going to cut across that line, Now to get the other angle, we want to do it the opposite way. So with this way, we've done it this way. So now we're going to do this other one this way. So I'll turn it around and do it from this angle. Do about the same, I reckon about that. Then all we do is just draw the line again. Now it would be better using a Sharpie on this because the line might not draw out that properly with just using a normal pen and the tape. But basically what we want to do now is just cut across them lines. So if we get the ruler out of the way, I'll show you this. Just want to cut across them lines that we just drawn. So there's that one. And there's the other one. So now I've got a horizontal line cut for each end. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of like slightly at an angle each end. Like that. So there's that stage, and basically what you want to do after this is you want to grab a piece of tape, cut it in half. So it's kind of like a thin piece of tape like this, and then you want to tape that on the inside again to stop the inside from moving about. So just tape that in there, just like so. The tape later on is going to get covered, so it doesn't matter how much tape you use, because we're just going to cover it later on. But tape the inside of them. And there you have that stage. So there's the next stage, guys. Let's move on to the other stage now. Okay, so step 3 of the Energems. We're going to use the hot glue gun now. So for any like young kids or anything like that watching this video, I do recommend you get like a parent's permission to help you and stuff like that, because you're going to want to need help with the hot glue gun because it does get really hot. If you're old enough, or if you do know how to use a hot glue gun properly, then you can do this on your own. But yeah, just be careful when using the hot glue gun because it does get really hot and you could burn yourself. But basically with this next step, all we're going to do is we're going to basically get a piece of paper. I've just ripped a small piece of paper up. Going to crumple it up into a small ball, just like this. And then we're going to put that inside the piece that we've just done. So that will go inside, just like this. Push it down near enough to the bottom. Probably to about that far, if you guys can see. I haven't pushed it all the way, but it's just in there. Basically that's just a blocker so the hot glue doesn't run all the way through to the end. But with that being done, we're just going to put some hot glue on the top there to seal this bottom end. So let's do that right now. So I've got the hot glue gun here, and we're just going to fill that part in. So hopefully you guys can see this alright. I'm just going to fill this in, just like this. That should be enough hot glue. And that will straighten itself out. So it just looks like that. So now the hot glue's in there. But basically all we want to do now is just leave that how it is. It will dry. Again, this top part's going to be really, really hot because of the hot glue, so keep your fingers down at the bottom end here. But yeah, just add the hot glue there. So I'll be back once that's dry. Okay guys, so I'm back now and that's dried, as you can see. It's gone a bit more of a darker colour, but that's cleared, that's dried. So now what you want to do is you want to either get a pair of scissors or a pen or something and push basically the piece of paper that you had down at the bottom, push it down further as far as it can go. So then that basically blocks the proper end then. And then the last bit we're going to do is fill the rest with hot glue, and that will basically get your main shape and the main part of the Energem Also, by adding all the hot glue inside, it'll make it rock solid, so it won't make it flimsy like a piece of paper. So now what we're going to do is we're going to fill all of that with hot glue. Now I do recommend, again, getting an adult to help you with the hot glue gun, because again it is really hot, and especially this part, because the piece of paper will get really hot inside. But all we're going to do is we're going to fill all that inside. So you can probably see the hot glue going down and the smoke. If you guys can see that smoke, because the glue's melting. But there we go. Just keep on filling that in. Hopefully you guys can see this. So there we go. Just going to keep on filling it up until we reach the top, and then it should dry, and I'll show you what that looks like, guys. So see you in a minute. Okay guys, so once you've filled all that in, it will look something like this. So both ends now have been filled in, as you can see, and it's rock solid. So there's that stage. Now we'll move on to the next one. Okay guys, so now that this bit's done and dry, we're going to move on to the next step. So for this next step, what we're going to need is we're going to need a ruler, I need a glue stick, some scissors, and we're also going to need a pen to do the marking. So to start off with, we're just going to create a box, and this box is basically going to be 8 centimeters going down and 7.5 centimeters going across. So I'll just measure that now. Just measure 7.5 across. We'll measure 8 centimeters down first, down this way, so we know where to start the line. There's 8 centimeters there. So let's just do a line going across the page, just like that. And that needs to be 7.5 centimeters across. So right here. Hopefully you guys can see this. So I've just done marking. So now, just do the marking straight across again. Straight up. Just like that. And we should have a small square like that. Just that square there. So if I do that for you, it's going to be 7.5 centimeters that way and 8 centimeters down. You can see that there. Now what we're going to want to do is you're going to want to cut that square out. So we'll do that real quick. And here we have our square here, guys. So now what we're going to do is we're going to glue this piece of paper around this here. And basically what that does is just hide the tape marks, so then when it comes to putting the Sharpie on, the Sharpie will stick a lot better to the actual paper and not the tape, because it would just rub off on the tape. But doing it this way, you'll get a good clean colour. So yeah, we're just going to do that now. So get the glue stick, put a bit of glue on one of the parts, just like so. And you can stick that down, just like that. So you have something like this. Leave a bit of a gap so then you can glue this part and stick it to here. So that's what I'm going to do now. And hopefully you guys can see this. This is the best angle I could get, but just basically stick that like that. And don't worry about the excess that leans over the top. We're going to cut that off soon, but for now it's fine. So yeah, just keep on sticking that all the way around. But before you do that, what you want to do is, if you wrap it round first, all the way round, as tightly as it can go, and then basically it's gone over, it's overlapped a bit, as you can see. The end in the part of the paper's here, if if I can show you that. It's actually overlapped a bit. So we're just going to draw a line, pen mark just there, so then we know to cut straight down that. So then it'll basically be exactly on the spot where we want it to be. It'll be a clean cut then. So I'm just going to mark there. There we go. Now what we can do is we can just draw a line straight down that. So we're just going to draw a line now straight down here. Try and get it as equal as possible. Just like that, as you can see. And we're going to cut down that line now. Just cut that down. And again, basically we're doing this so the Sharpie and the glitter and all that can actually stick to the paper a lot nicer. It is definitely worth doing this step. You can skip it if you want to, but I would definitely advise doing it because it does make it look a lot nicer. But basically with that, we don't need that scrap paper anymore. Just going to glue the rest of this down now. So just glue all the paper. You can put glue on the actual item as well, on the actual other piece of paper, so it sticks a bit more better. Basically you just want to stick that all the way around, just like so. Make sure it's nicely on there. And I might speed this next step up until it comes to the cutting part. Basically you want to let that dry for about a minute or two and then we'll get to the cutting. Okay, so now the cutting step guys, so that's dry. Basically as you can see we've got the excess paper on both ends. You just basically want to cut that off to where the actual thing stops. So as you can see, if you just cut it like so. I'm probably going to speed this part up just so you can see, but you basically get the idea. You just want to cut that excess stuff off. And there you go guys, so we cut all the excess tape off, as you can see. And now it's just a piece of paper over the top, so it'll be a lot easier to put the Sharpie and stuff over the top of that. So there we go. Let's move on to the next step now. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do the actual like energem part. So we're going to do like the rock part on the outside of the energem. Basically with that, it's going to be 1 centimetre each end. So I'll get started with that. So what you want is you want a piece of paper again. I'm just going to use the same one I was using before. And we're going to basically do 1 centimetre across. So if we do that right now, hopefully you guys can see this again and the measurements I'm doing, but I'm just explaining the measurements to you as I go along so you know what the actual measurements have to be. But yeah, 1 centimetre across, just like that. We'll do 1 centimetre down this way as well. Just there. And that way we can then go straight across with the ruler and go straight across that line. So let's do that. So that looks about right. Awesome. So there's that one. And then we're just going to cut all the way across that line. So hopefully I can show you this as well. And this is just going to get the little strips that we need for the actual energem part. Out of this you can probably get quite a few. You can probably get about enough to do probably 2 energems, 2 or possibly 3 out of this one strip. But just cut straight across that. Try and keep it as straight as possible. Just like that. And then we have this. Awesome. So now that that's cut, what we want to do is we want to grab the energem part that we've got here, and we want to wrap it partially round this top part. So we're not going to go all the way around because it won't wrap all the way around straightly, but we're going to go about halfway. And you're going to need the pen again for this part. So we're going to go about halfway round. So I've stopped just here. You can see that. So it's not completely round yet, but we're just going to mark with the pen where that stops. So say about here. Mark that straight down, and that's going to be one piece. So then we're going to cut that across, just like that. And there's 1/2 piece to the top part. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do sort of like the rock look of the energem, the top part. And by doing that, we're just going to draw some triangles. It doesn't matter what size they are, really. Maybe do a half circle as well, just like that. So these are going to be cut out, but I'll just show you that. Just done that, like that. So we're going to cut these out. And basically what this does is it just gives the like the look of stone aging on the energem, because of course the stone on the energem isn't actually like fully like straight. It's not like just all natural. It's basically got some like gaps in it and stuff like that as well. So this is how we're going to get that look. I'll bring up a picture so you can see like the sort of gaps in the energem. But we're just going to cut this here. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. There we go. So we have that now. And basically that, now what we're going to do is stick that across the energem just on the top part, just like this. So that will sort of look like that once it's stuck down. So I'll do that now. Let's just get the glue. I'm trying to give you as much detail as possible in this video, guys, so then it'll be easier for you to make one when you do make one, if you do decide to. But basically we're just going to stick it on the top here, just like this. We're just going to go around it, just like this. Try and keep it still on the edge, just like that. So there's one part done. As you can see, we've still got this other part back here to do. So we're going to do that now, and that's what you need the piece of paper again for. So you basically want to measure again on the piece of paper that you've just cut, and then you want to measure both ends. So you want to measure it until it stops. So mine stops about here. So I'm going to grab the pen again and just cut a line there, like that. Draw that straight down. You don't really need to measure that one with the ruler. And then just cut straight across that one. Just like that. So we've got this smaller piece here. And again, you can do a diamond, or you can do a triangle or an oval, or whatever you want in this part. I'm going to do an oval. Just like that. And since it's such a small piece, I've just drawn one oval. And I'm going to cut that out. Just like so. There we go, guys, and there we have that. And now that is just going to stick again to the other part of the energem here. So if we glue that now. Now these can rip easily, so just be careful when you glue them. Because since these pieces are so small across, they're only 1 centimetre, they can rip easily when you attach the glue to them. But again, just like that, just stuck that part there, and we're just going to go all the way around that again until we hit the other end. There we go. We can attach a bit more glue to that part if we want to, just to keep them securely on there so they don't actually come off. So there we go. got that first part. So that's how you do the tops. Basically all this is just a stencil round, so when it comes to hot gluing that part, we know where to stop with the lines and stuff, but that's how that looks, guys. So you want to repeat that basically on the opposite side, and then you'll have one energem complete with them symbols. Pretty cool. So I'm just going to do that, and I'll see you once that's done. Okay, so now that that's step done, I've gone all the way around with pen, as you can see. You can see the markings now a bit more clearer. The hot glue gun's heated up. Again, if you're young enough, ask your parents to help you with it. If you're old enough to use a hot glue gun, then you won't of course need your parents' help for this, but basically what we're going to do with the hot glue gun is just go around their markings. We don't want to go over their markings, and yeah, let's get started with that. So hopefully you guys can see this quite well. Just going to go over their markings. Now you don't need a lot of hot glue to start off with. I'm just going to go all the way around that. Now I'll probably speed this part up, because this will take a lot of time. So I'm going to wait for that to cool down a little bit, and then once I can touch it with my finger, I can smooth it out then with my finger. I don't recommend doing that, but once it's cold enough, I should be able to still mould it. You don't want it to go rock solid though, so it should be cold enough now, just to smooth that out, just like this. And this is just basically so the energem gets a smoother look. I'm just going all the way around, and don't worry about if you don't get it right the first time. We're just going to do a couple of layers of this anyway. Remove the excess hot glue. There we go. So we're going to go around that again, exactly the same way. So once that's done, I'll come back and show you guys what that looks like once I've done both sides. But you get the general idea, that's what you want to do. And you want to do that for about 2 layers, 3 layers maybe, just depending on the thickness, how you want it. But there we go, guys. Okay, so now that that part's done both ends, as you can see they're all glued. The hot glue looks quite nice. Now they can stand up if you do the hot glue quite good. They can stand up both ends, so that's pretty cool. But we're going to move on to the painting now, which is like the last step of the energem. So we're going to do the silver parts and then we'll do the inside later. But let's start off with this. So right here I've got some metallic silver paint. There we go. That's better. Doesn't come out as watery. So there's the paint there. So we're just going to paint the top part here. So let's get on with that. And I'll start off just by showing you a bit, guys, but yeah, since we smoothed out the hot glue, it goes onto it a lot nicer, as you can see there. But we're basically going to go all the way around this, and same with the other side, so I'll speed this part up. Okay guys, so there we have the first top part done, painted silver now. That's pretty cool. And then you just want to do the same to the other end, so I'll be back once that's done. So now that the energem's done, the silver parts on both ends, we're now going to do the inside part. So for this energem I'm going to do the purple energem today. So what I've got is, I've got my purple Sharpie ready. I've also got some clear glue, and also got some purple glitter as well. But first of all, yeah, we're just going to get the Sharpie and we're just going to colour all the inside of this. So let's do that right now. There we go guys, there it is, coloured in purple now. So if you wanted to, you could actually leave it like this without the glitter, but I think the glitter does make it look a bit more nicer. It makes it a bit more shinier, but you could leave it just like this if you wanted to, if you don't want to have the glitter look. But there we go guys, and now let's move on to doing the glitter now. Okay, so now we're going to do the glitter part of the energem. So, got the glue here, I'm going to put a good amount on here. Sorry about that. And then we're just going to get our bag of glitter and just put it on that. So let's empty out some of this glitter on here. Probably enough there. Now try and keep the glitter in the bags and everything, because glitter is really like hard to get off your fingers and things like that. But here we go, we can mix this up a little bit. It's easier doing it this way. Probably need a bit more glue. There we go. So basically what this does is just basically create like glitter paint or glitter glue. And then you can just put that on here. So I've probably done quite a bit too much on here, but oh well. Then you just basically paint it onto the actual energem itself. Okay, so I just had to change the angle on my camera and stuff because it ran out of battery, as you probably saw a cut there. But yeah, I've just currently got my camera on charge, that's why it's on a different angle, but we're just going to continue with this anyway. So yeah, just continue putting the glitter glue onto the actual energem, and you'll definitely see the difference. I do highly recommend doing this when you do the energems, make them glittery. Or if you do decide to make a whole ton of energems, you could do a set of 10 or 11 energems that are glittery, and then you could do a set of 10 or 11 that are just normal, which is what I might end up doing eventually. But for now, basically this is just what you do to make the glitter look, which the glitter look is definitely my favourite. But I'll speed the video up now for you guys until it's done. And there we go guys, so now it's all glittery, you might be able to see that. Hopefully you can see that guys. But basically, once that's dry, you want to do another coat of the glitter over the top so it's very glittery. And then, yeah, that'll be it. So I'll see you once this energem's complete. Okay guys, so welcome to the end of the video. So we've got all our energems here now, including the one we made in this video, which was the purple one. They turned out really cool. As you can see, you can make a whole set if you wanted to, once you know how to make these. And that's why I did the video, basically, so I could show you guys how to make an energem for cheap and an easier way as well, out of paper. So you didn't have to spend tons and tons of money on the like Starlight Studio ones, the actual energems. So this is a cheap way if you can't afford them ones, which I couldn't, so that's why I figured out this way and how to make them. And of course they're not going to look totally like screen accurate, but they're not too bad. They do the job, and the good thing is they can't really get damaged, because even if they do, you can just make a new one, so you don't need to worry about them being thrown about or put on the ground or anything. So these would be pretty good for like videos, if you wanted to make videos with them. They're pretty cool, like prop piece for like a video, so yeah, you can throw them about, you can do whatever, so that's why I made these, cheap and easy. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll be back for many good videos in the future, and probably some more DIY videos like these. So thanks for watching, see ya.